and MTech and PhD in Computer Science and Engineering from National Institute of Technology, Durgapur, West Bengal in 2014 and 2019 respectively. He is now associated with the School of Computer Science, University of Petroleum and Energy Studies, Dehradun, India, and there he is working as an assistant professor. His research area includes quantum dot cellular automata, quantum computing, reversible logic, and hardware security. He has praiseworthy contribution in the field of his research, and he is a very good friend of mine. So with this brief introduction, I welcome you all to this program, and I take this opportunity to hand over the session to you.
Thank you, Janta. Thank you for your kind words. And okay, so before I started, I welcome you all. Maybe there are some seniors also, so you can interrupt me at anywhere. I love to clear our doubts. So I'm directly presenting my lecture, which is QCA device defects and clocking. So already Jayanta introduced me, so I'm not going to introduce myself again. So this is the introduction part where I talked about why this QCA is coming. And the full form of QCA is quantum dot cellular automata, where I have done my PhD in the domain of quantum dot cellular automata. So before going to start, I want to draw your attention to the Moore's law. So maybe many of you have already know what is Moore's law. Moore's law, Moore predicted that the number of transistors will be double in every 2 years. So we need speed, okay? For computation, we need faster computation. For that, we need to increase transistors, okay? So Moore predicted that the number of transistors will be double in every 2 years. So, there is a contradiction between these two statements. We need computation speed. For that, we need to increase our transistors. And Moore's also predicted that number of transistors will be double in every 2 years. And the prediction was done by Moore's at 1960s. Okay, so what will happen now? So number of transistors will grow. It means the size of the transistor, size of the IC is also growing. So to tackle the problem, researcher or scientist has been done that the size of the transistors was reduced. Okay, and the trend is continuing. Actually, the trend is continuing, and the problem is cope up with the reduction of the IC sizes and transistor sizes, you can say. So he predicted the number of transistors will be double in every 2 years. It was predicted by Morse in 1960s, and now we are at 2020. So they have reduces the size of the transistor, which is commonly known as feature size reduction. Feature size reduction, here you can see here, feature size reduction, okay? And to reduce the size of the transistor, but at what extent or what limit we can reduce the size of the transistor, because we are already done so much reduction or so much feature size reduction in the case of transistor, but we are at 2020 now. If I decrease, okay, let me that means in 2021 the transistors are hardly, we use transistors at 14 nanometer, and nowadays also coming 8 to 5 nanometer transistors are also available. But Intel, which is big producer of transistors, they are suggested that after 5 nanometer, it is not possible to reduce the size of the transistor because of some quantum anomalies happening there. So researcher or scientist, all this CMOS VLSI community thinking about various alternatives to cope up with this problem, or they are also thinking some new technologies. So they have divided 3 distinctions they have suggested here. according to this paper, K. Roy et al., they have actually divided three categories of these new technologies. So first one is more, and then more than more, and beyond CMOS. And you can see here, QCA is present here. Quantum dot cellular automata, which is reside in beyond CMOS category. So I already told you people that feature size reduction is a problem in conventional technology. Including this, we have two more problem in the conventional technology. Conventional means CMOS technology, which I am talking about. So conventional technology is also facing low device density. What it means? It means device densities are very low. That means okay, we will see later on. And then high power dissipation is also there. Power consumption and power dissipation is also one of the biggest factor of conventional technology. So what is the remedy? There are actually 7 alternatives suggested by the Semiconductor Association Roadmap Semiconductor Association, okay, of America. They have suggested 7 alternatives, like your carbon nanotube, quantum dot cellular automata is also present. So quantum dot cellular automata is one of them actually. So it is a field coupled nanotechnology, which is suggested or invented by C.S. Land at 1993 in the University of Notre Dame. So now you can ask me, what is field coupled nanotechnology? So field coupled nanotechnology means it actually drive the force, or you can say the information passes from their local interaction. Actually, this is in this quantum dot cellular automata, in this technology, physics is heavily involved. Okay, so local interaction means if I have a cell here, let's say this is a cell or device, you can say, the if the force of this cell can interact with this cell, then this is called local interaction. The force of this cell can interact with this cell of the nearest cell, then this is called local interaction, and this is why this is called field coupled nanotechnology. And this quantum dot cellular automata technology also provides high device density, low power consumption. As you all know, this is a nanotechnology, so power consumptions are very less, and it is a high speed device. The computations are very high speed. The computations are very highly computed. Actually, it is close to terahertz. So up to this point, if you have any questions, please ask me. Any questions? Or my speed is very fast? Any questions? Okay, so after that, these are your basics of QCA devices. These are the actually primitive devices we have in the QCA technology. So already I told the people that QCA is a field coupled nanotechnology. So the structure of QCA technology are basically the basic backbone of QCA technology is a QCA cell. QCA cell. So it is a square type cell. Okay, generally we use this. There are other alternatives also, but more frequently used and more it is more prominent, you can say. It is the most basic QCA cell which we generally used in our research. So it is a square, although this is not a square, okay, square type cell where we have 4 holes in the corner of the square. Okay, these are the holes we have in this cell, and then we can place only 2 electron in these holes. And we all know electrons are repulsive in nature. Okay, electrons are repulsive in nature, and due to this repulsive or Coulombic force, they can reside or they can stable only in 2 orientation. One of the orientation is this, and one orientation is this. If these electrons are reside like this, then this is called -1, or in binary switching theory, we can say this is 0 or binary 0. And if they reside like this, okay, then this is called +1, or in switching theory or in digital electronics terms, this is called 1 and this is called 0. But in QCA, they are termed as -1 and +1. If the electron is aligned like this, then this is your -1, and electrons are reside like this, then this is called +1. So up to this point, I think everyone is clear. So these are the two orientations available in the QCA cell. So what is QCA cell? QCA cell is the basic primitive or basic device, or you can say basic building blocks of QCA technology, where only 2 electron can reside and there are 4 holes. And generally we use this type of cells, although we have some other orientations where we have 6 number of holes where we can reside some more electrons. Okay, but generally we use this square shape QCA cell where we have 4 holes and we can store 2 electron, and due to the Coulombic force they can reside like this or like this. Okay, so in QCSL there are two, in technical terms we call it polarization. So this is -1 and this is +1. Now in the digital electronics we have already studied, where we have AND gates, OR gates and NOT gates. These 3 gates are basic building blocks of our digital or switching theory, or you can say digital electronics. So we need the same here also. To realize any QCS circuits, we need AND gate, we need OR gate. At the same time, we need NOT gate. So instead of using directly AND gate, OR gate, we have here majority voter. Okay, we have something called majority voter. You can see these are your cells, QCS cells I have placed here like this, and there are 1 2 3 5 cells are arranged. Then this is called 3 input majority voter. This is called your 3 input majority voter, where I have input A, input B, input C, and F is the output. So this is the symbolic representation where I can write ABC in the left hand side. Maj means majority, F is the output, and the output function is this AB plus BC plus CA. Now in the AND gate of digital electronics, you people might have observed that the majority is 0 0 0. If I write the truth table of AND gate, these are your 2 input AND gate. Okay, so 0 0 means 0, 0 1 means 0, and 1 0 is again 0, 1 1 is 1. So majority is, what is the majority majority variable in the output function is 0. So if I fix any input of this majority voter, 3 input majority voter in QCA technology at -1, -1 means it is 0. If I fix it at -1, this majority voter will behave as AND gate. It will behave as AND gate. Okay, 2 input AND gate actually, because only 2 inputs are available for users, and I have fixed 1 input at -1, which means it is fixed at 0. And if I want to realize this OR gate, 2 input OR gate, then I can fix it at +1. If I fix it at +1, it will behave as a OR gate. Why? Because in the OR gate truth table, you can see 0 0 0 0 1 1 1 0 1. So majority is 1. So I am fixing this majority voter at +1. Then it will behave as OR gate. So we have already realized 2 gates or basic gates of QCA technology. They are AND gate and OR gate with the help of one 3-input majority gate. Now we need inverter or yes, inverter. So I think majority voter is clear. Any questions? Okay, no questions. Next, actually we are realizing 3 gates, AND gate. We need these 3 gates to realize any circuits, AND gate, OR gate, and NOT gate. So AND gate is already available in the form of majority, OR gate is already available in the form of majority again. So using our majority voter in QCA technology, we can realize this 2 gate. That means you can say some kind of configurability is this majority voter can carry, okay, because we can configure whatever we need. Then these are the 2 orientations of inverter. We generally use these 2 orientations of inverter in the QCA technology. This is more stable, okay, compared to this one. Why this is more stable? Because the force it is driving to this cell, okay, it is this from the 2 sides we are driving the force. Actually already I told the people this is a field couple nanotechnology. The cells are driving the information. If I fix it this if we fix it 0, then it will align like this, okay. Then it will again influence this is neighboring cell. So due to this repulsion, okay, I can't, if I fix it like this, the distance between these 2 electron is longest, or you can say this is the longest distance where this cell can reside, and this is also the longest distance. So the neighboring cell is also reside like the previous cell. That means it is also driving, or it is also carrying the same configuration which is carrying by the earlier one, 0. Now this is again this will also influence the neighboring cells, okay. It is also induced actually. So likewise it is also induced here, it is also induced here, likewise it is also induced here, also induced. But in this case you can see this is the opposite orientation. That means if I place the 0 here, I am getting, we need to get here 1. Okay, my intention is to build a inverter in the QCA technology. Now why this is actually opposite orientation? Because if I place 1 here, okay, if I placed electron here, then this is the nearest, or this is the shortest path. Okay, here also I can place here I can place, but I can't place electron here because of this 2 electron repulsion. This is moving to this direction, and this cell is coming to this position, and it is also affecting this cell, also affecting the same configuration, so it is converted to 1. So like this you can see here also, if I placed 1 here plus 1, it is again injecting, okay, inducing 1 1, but I can't place electron here because this is the shortest path between these 2 electron, and due to this, so I can place here, but due to the repulsion of these electrons, this electron move towards this direction, and because of this electron, the electron will move towards this direction, and that's why they have changed the orientation or polarization of the QCA cell, and because of this it is again coming -1 here. So there are 2 orientations of inverter, and same thing is happening here. The local field interaction will induce the neighboring QCA cells. Okay, any questions?
Sir, in that figure D, the second
Yes.
circuit, why
Yes.
are we putting 3 cells there? Can't we put only 2 and then do it?
Yes, you can
Put,
place to 1 also, no
okay,
problem. You can place
okay.
to 1 also, but
Hmm.
the signal strength will be low. If I
Oh,
placed only 1,
okay.
signal strength will be low. If I place 3 or more than 3, then you will get high signal strength.
Okay, can we place the 4 cells also there? So there'll not be
Yes,
any problem.
absolutely. No
Okay.
problem.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So I'm going to show the same thing again because QCA primitives are very important. Okay, so majority voter already we have seen majority voter. Here I have already explained to you people that this majority voter is configurable in nature. This is 3-input majority voter. If I fix any one input at -1, it means 0. I can realize the AND gate. If I fixed it at +1, okay, then I can realize OR gate. So my intention is to realize 3 basic gates of digital electronics. First one is AND gate. It is realized. OR gate, complete. Then we need inverters, already explained. These are the 2 possible orientations. As the that madam already asked me that can I place 3 or 2, why I have placed 3. You can see here I have placed only 2 cells here, so comparatively the signal strength will be low here. Okay, if I placed, that means stability is low if I placed only 2 cells here. If I place 3, then you will get more stable phase, stable configurations. So no issues, you can place 2 here also. Okay, but at least 1 should be there to drive this uh, the polarization from one end to another end. So there are 2 orientations of inverter also, and this is more stable compared to this. This orientation is more stable because we are forcing this cell. This is called device cell. We are forcing from 2 sides. In this case, we are forcing only one side. That means the uh, uh, polarization is only from the one side. That is why this is that means this is not actually robust. We can say, yeah, here also you can see the second implementation. This consumes more area, but it is more robust than the earlier one. Okay, now there is a new terminology which is called QCA where. QCA where means how we will drive our information from one end to another end. It is like your electrical wires. We already that means everyone is having this electrical connections in our home where we have wires. So why we need wires? To pass electron from one end to another end in this QCA technology. So there are 2 types of wires actually. One is coplanar wire, which is also called 90-degree wire, and another is rotating kind of wire or inverter chain. So there are these 2 orientations we are used actually. This is called coplanar wire. Here we are not changing the polarization. If I fixed it at -1, okay, we will get -1 at the output. So this is a field coupled nanotechnology. Already I told you people, the local field interaction will induce or will affect the neighboring cells. So if I placed my cells like this is my input, this is my output. If I fixed it at -1, it will induce same polarization or same signal to the neighboring cell, and it will replicate to the output, and we will get -1 at the output. This is called coplanar wire. Okay, and this is called rotating wire. Why it is called rotating wire? Because you can see the orientations are something different here. The cells are, in the earlier case, I already told the people that the square box is present and the 4 corners are in the 4 corners we have holes and only 2 electrons can reside there. But in this case you can see there are 4 holes and 2 electrons, but the orientation is something different, and that is why this is called rotating wire. It is actually rotating. You can see this is like this, and in the next page you can see this perpendicular orientation of electrons, and this is horizontal, then again horizontal, perpendicular, horizontal, perpendicular. That is why this is called rotating wire, and you will get the same. If I fixed it at -1, then also you will get the same output at the output end. So there are 2 types of wires we have. One is coplanar wire, another is rotating wire. Now one is again we need fan out. This is also important. QCA waves fan out. So these are the two possible orientations we have in our QCA technology to fan out our signals. So generally we use rotating waves to fan out. Okay, if I placed any input here, then I will get inverted output in the output. This is one kind of property of this rotating waves, because in here, if I placed, actually you can see this is my rotating wave. If I placed one here, I am getting one here, but in this output I am getting inverted output. That means I am getting 0 here. You have to sorry, if I placed 1, I'm getting output 1 in this node, but in this node I am getting inverted output. Why? If I ask if you ask me, then I can say that this is the property of this rotating wave. If I placed in the odd numbers of this rotating, this cell is placed actually in the odd position. You can see 1, 2, and then 3. This cell is placed in the odd number, and that is why I am getting same output then invert. This is actually an inverter. You can see this is the plus orientation, then this is your minus orientation. So this is inverter, same output passing to this signal, plus 1, then it is inverted. But in this case, you can see it is placed in the even number position. Then we are getting opposite signal. Let's say in this case, I am placing -1. Then we are getting +1 here, and then it is due to this inverter, I am getting the same output here also. So these are the two fan outs we have used in this QCA technology, and this is called buffer output, because we are getting same output here and here, but in this case we are getting inverted output here, but the same output in this end. Now we need wire crossing. Wire crossing is a very complex or very interesting research topic in QCA technology also, due to its nature. So in this case, you can see we can cross two wire like this. This is your normal coplanar wire. Okay, 1, 2, 3. These are your normal cells, but these are your rotating cells. Okay, input 1 is placed here. If I placed 1 here, I am getting output 1 at the other end, and if I placed -1 here, I am getting -1 here also. That means you can see this orientation is different and their orientations are different, but they are not influencing each other, although there are a lot of interference. Okay, they are this interference I'm not going to talk about, but generally we used this type of orientations to cross two wire in the same plan, which is not possible in the conventional technology, which is your CMOS technology. In CMOS technology, always we need multiple layers to cross any signal. Okay, this is only possible in the QCA technology, where we can cross two signal at the same plan. Okay, so although we can do this, we have various issues in this coplanar wire crossing. So one more wire crossing we have, which is multiple layer, which is already known to you. Already in CMOS technology also we are doing this. In multiple layers, we can pass the signal from one layer to another layer, and then we can pass this signal. But the coplanar wire crossing is not available in the CMOS technology, but it is available in the QCA technology. And some if I measure some, or if I keep some restriction in this crossing, then we can easily pass the signal. Okay, so there are some other issues, radius of effect, and then interference. So these are actually very deep technical issues. So I'm not talking here. I am not going to talk here. But we have this coplanar wire crossing in QCA technology. So these are the fundamental primitive devices we have in our QCA technology. Again, I'm coming to this my slides. So I think QCA devices or primitive devices are clear now. So do you have any questions? So I can't see the Google Meet actually.
Hello, sir. Can I
Yes,
have
sir.
a question?
Yes, sir.
My background is chemistry, so I don't, I'm not familiar with many of these things. I'll
Okay.
ask some very simple questions, sir.
No problem, sir. You can ask me. Yeah.
So in the cell, you see like a +1 and -1 configuration.
Yes, yes.
So these two configurations can be arrived at simply by rotating the cell, right?
Yeah, not rotating the cell. Actually,
Yes, sir.
the electrons are rotating here.
Okay, sir.
The cell is stable. It is
Mm-hmm.
not rotating this. I am not rotating the cell actually.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Electrons are rotating actually
Okay, sir. No,
within
my
this
question
cell.
is
Yeah.
like the distinction between the two cells is simply the the physical arrangement or some other phenomenon.
Uh, due actually, sir, we have this cell like
Yes, sir.
this,
Yes, sir.
and there are 4 holes. Okay,
Yes. Yes.
there are 4 holes. So I can place only 2 electrons here, electron
Yes.
1 and electron 2, because
Yes.
we people know the electrons are repulsive in nature due to
Yes.
this Coulombic force.
Yes,
So
sir.
I can place only 2 electron. If I place first electron here, can
Yes.
I place my second electron here?
No.
No, because the interaction, if I fix it here, first electron, so the distance between these two cells are sorry, the distance between these two cells are
Yes, sir.
less compared to this.
Yes.
That is why I can place here, because they are stable here. If I even if I placed electron 2 here, they will not reside like this.
Okay.
They are fighting and they are repulsive in nature, and that is why if I place like this, electron 2 here, electron 1 here, any one, okay,
Okay,
either
sir.
1 or 2 will reside like this only or this only.
Okay,
These
sir.
two possible orientations are only possible
Yes, sir.
because of this repulsive nature of electrons.
Okay, sir. So my question here is like, can you convert like +1 to -1 by simply like rotating the physical rotation of the cell?
No, that's
Okay.
not possible. You can't physically rotate the cell.
Okay.
That is only possible with the help of inverters.
Okay, sir.
Cells are always fixed. You cannot rotate these cells.
Okay, sir.
Whatever you are asking, I'm getting.
Okay,
If I
sir.
if I convert this to like
Yes, sir.
this, then it is -1,
Yes,
and
sir.
if I convert this to like this physically, then
Yes,
it
sir.
is going to be +1. That is not going to be happen.
Okay, sir.
Cells are always fixed. You can only provide the power, you can say power,
Yes.
so that the electrons are changing its orientation at
Okay,
the time. At that time only you can change the orientation from -1 to +1,
okay,
or
sir.
vice versa.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. So any other questions? Okay, now QCA clocking. So why QCA clocking is important? Everybody knows in our CMOS technology, okay, in our CMOS technology, we need power to drive our information from one end to another end. We need to supply external power, okay. We need to supply external power to transfer information from one end to another end. But in this technology, QCA technology, we don't need external power. The clocking itself provide the power to the circuit. How, we will see later on, but please keep in mind that we don't need any external power to the QCA circuits. The clocking, QCA clocking, where we have 4 phases of clocking, okay, and this clocking will provide the power to the QCA circuit. How, we will see later on. And one more thing, the synchronization is a very big issue in our CMOS circuits and digital circuits. Okay, we all know synchronization is a very big issue, But in QCA technology, this synchronizations are also provided by the clocking. That means, in simple words, I can say power and synchronizations are taken care of by QCA clocking. And what is clocking? It is actually in this technology, there are 4 phases of clocking, and the first phase is switch, hold, then second phase is hold, then release and relax. So in the switch phase, it is going like this. Actually, QCA cells are at that time not polarized. The polarizations are not, that means it is about to happening. Then in the hold phase, it is polarized in this phase, and then the hold, it is holding the polarization. Now again it is releasing, then relax. Okay, so I think these are very technical issues. I'm not going to detail of this switch, hold, release and relax, because for myself also it is very hard to understand. Okay, these are very technical terms. So please remember that clocking, the in QCA clocking, this synchronization happening because of this clocking, and the power to the circuit is provided by the clocking. That's it. And we need actually regular clocking. Okay, this is not actually regular clocking. What is regular clocking, we will see later on, and then we will discuss why clocking is so important. My first intention is to describe what is QCA devices, and then we will see some defects, then we will coming to the topic of clocking. But this is the basic why we need clocking. We need clocking because it will provide power to the circuit, and then it is also used for synchronization in the QCA circuits. Now, as you people know, this is a nanotechnology, and it is in the micro level, you can say nano level. So the placement of cells are very important. Let's say I am taking one example of 3-input majority voter. Okay, this is my 3-input majority voter. So I need to place like this. All these cells should be equidistant from the other. The distance between these two cells should be same, and here also we need to maintain the same distance. Here also we need to maintain the same distance. Here also we need to maintain the same distance between the device cell. This is called device cell. Okay, but the fabrication is not so easy. The fabrication of this QCA majority voter is not so easy because it is in the nano level. At the nano level, it is not possible to measure very accurately. So it may happen that some cells are missing from this majority voter. You can see here cell A, input A is missing. This cell is missing. We have realized it, but due to some problem or due to some defects, the input A is missing from this device or 3-input majority voter. Then this is called missing cell defect or cell omission. So there are a lot of defects. Okay, there are a lot of defects or faults in this nanotechnology. So this is called cell omission or single missing cell defect. Single missing cell defect, commonly known as single missing cell defect. And in some case it may happen that these are perfectly aligned, or they are perfectly placed at this they are in the respective positions, but this cell is not actually placed in the proper position, and this is the longest distance between the device cell. This means this distance is bigger, or the distance is this longest distance between this, but they are perfectly placed. A, B, C and F are perfectly placed, but the A is not perfectly placed, and that at that time this is called cell displacement. Because of some reason, I don't know what is the reason, but in the fabrication, because of some reason, the cell is displaced actually, and that is why this is called cell displacement error, or you can say defect or fault. And sometimes also might happen that your cell is not its intended position, and it is slightly slipped to the leftward, or it is in the left side. So it is called cell misalignment. So alignment is not actually perfect. That is why this is called cell misalignment. And then extra cell defect. Why it is extra cell? You can see here we need only these cells. They are perfectly aligned, and they have the 3 input majority voter only have these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cells, but due to some problem or error we have put some extra cells here, and this is called extra cell defect. And the last one is rotation defect. As already you people know that this is your rotating cell. They are normal cells, but in between these normal cells the device cell is rotated somehow in the fabrication, and due to this it is a rotating cell. And we know normal cells are different with the rotating cells, and because of this it will cause some error in the circuit if I use this type of majority voter. So why I am explaining defects one by one, because these are actually fabricated in the nano level, and in the nano level it is not possible, or it is actually very hard. Actually not possible means it is not I can't say like that, not possible. It is possible, but it is very hard to place the cells in the intended position. So it may happen that sometimes the cells are displaced, cells are omitted, cells are misaligned, and some extra cells are also deposited there. Some rotation defects are there, and due to this the circuit, these are the basic building blocks. Due to the using this majority voter, I can realize AND gate and OR gate. So I need to use in the bigger circuit. Okay, so due to these problems or defects, your original circuit will not behave as you are that intended to behave. So these are the defects we commonly have in the technology. So I think this is clear. QC defects. What is this cell omission, cell displacement? So any questions here? Okay. So if I talking about defects, we need some schemes so that we can enhance or we can mitigate the defects. Now I'm talking about one scheme which I have published in my PhD career. Okay, this is called fault tolerant majority voter. We have already seen there are a lot of defects, so we need fault tolerance. Where there is a defect, there is a fault tolerant mechanism. So already we have talked about there are defects, and we have also seen 3 input majority voter. Now in this slide, I have written fault tolerant 5 input or higher order majority voter. So I can realize 5 input majority voter, 7 input majority voter, 9 input, and so on. Okay. And why we need actually higher order majority voters? Because we need more programmability in our QCS circuits so that we can increase or enhance the programmability. So now these are actually already available majority voters. Okay, 5 input majority voters. So you can see this majority voter. Okay, where the output cell, this is the output cell. The output cell is placed in between this tile, or you can say in between these inputs. This is the output. Okay, so if I use this majority voter here, this is a 5 input majority voter. You can see A, B, C, D, E. There are 5 inputs. The blue color indicates your inputs. Okay, and yellow color indicates output, and blue color indicates input, and green color means it is clock 0. We will see what is clock later. And this maroon color indicates clock 1. Okay, so forget about clocking. We will only see here why we need 5 input majority voter and what is the importance of 5 input majority voter. So as I already told you people that if I increase the majority voter, then we can generate, or we can generate more number of outputs. Okay, and it will enhance the programmability. Now we can see the previous majority voters have some defects. This majority voter, the first one, it has a defect of non-coplanarness. That means if I want to connect any device or any circuit to this output, only one option is available, which is your multi-layering. Without using multi-layer, I can't connect to this output, which is a very complex task in this nanotechnology. Already I told you people that the fabrication of same plan, that means in coplanar plan, is not a very easy task. Okay, and then we are using multi-layer here. Multi-layer means from in the top we need to connect 2-3 more cells. So which is not very easy or easy task in the nanotechnology. So generally we avoid this type of devices where we need multi-layering. Multi-layering needs 3 times more. That means multi-layer has 3 times more complexity than the coplanar fabrications. So multi-layering generally we avoid. Okay, now in this second device, 5-input majority device, you can see it is actually very sensitive to your misalignment defect. Okay, misalignment defect. What is misalignment defect? If I place this B from this position to leftward, then it is actually misalignment. So this majority voter and this one, they are very sensitive to our QCA defects. Already we have seen some defects. You can see this is misalignment defect. So these two majority voters are sensitive, actually sensitive to your QCA defects, because you can see these orientations, they have put like this only. So it is not very easy to put in the intended positions. And in the last one, you can see again, this is your major output, and here also we need multi-layering. But in this third majority voter, you can see this Kevin Navy, they have proposed this majority voter, although it is a sensitive to your various QCA defects, but they are getting some programmability, enhanced programmability, because of their distance between the devices, although it is not a regular structure. Why it is not a regular structure? Because it is not filled by all the QC devices. So we have proposed actually one fault tolerance scheme. Before going to see what we have proposed, we have also proposed that how we will build a fault tolerance scheme where regular structure can also be realized. So this is actually fault tolerant architecture we have proposed, where you can see we have used hybrid tile. What is tile actually? Tile means if I place QCA cells like this, okay, this is not a tile or this is not a regular structure, because this area is vacant. We always prefer regular structure. Regular means like this. Let's say this is a common or simple example of regular structure, where you can see it is a symmetric in behavior. 4 cells are present and it is actually symmetric. Okay, and it is called regular, and it is called a tile. In simple terms, we can say tile. So in this case, we have used a hybrid tile, and this Beaverson et al., they have already suggested that hybrid tile has less kink energy, and due to this, they are more stable actually. Fault tolerance means we are why we are that means why we are talking about fault tolerance, because we have various defects and we need fault tolerance. Even if 1 or 2 cells have been misly aligned there, or 1 or 2 cells are omitted from this arrangement, then also your device is correctly behaving or correctly giving the output. That is your fault tolerance. Even if one or two cells are misly aligned, one is extra cell is deposited, rotation defects is also present. Even if all the defects are present, your device is going to be give correct output. That is why we need fault tolerance. And to achieving this, we have suggested that a hybrid tile is very good to achieve more stability. So why this is called hybrid? Because you can see this is your rotating cell, and in the rotating cell, this layer is a rotating cell layer. In the next layer, you can see these are your normal cells. Okay, sorry for the interruption. And these are again your rotating cells, and then normal, and then in the output cell is always in the normal. So this type of tiles is called hybrid tile, where we have used rotating cell as well as normal cells, and it is already accepted by the research community that this hybrid tile is very good in terms of kink energy. What is kink energy? Kink energy, if the kink energy is less, then your architecture or your device is more stable in terms of fault tolerance. So we have also designed, and then yeah, this is actually again we have talked about how to provide the clock. This is also a very important aspect of this research, QCA research. Not only you have to justify how to provide the clock, because we already discussed that clock is driving the information from one end to another end. Okay, and clock is also provide the synchronization. So we need to take care of our clock. In QCA clock, there are four phase clock generator. Actually, already I have told the people that there are 4 phases of clock, and they are actually terms as 0, 1, 2, and 3. 0 means it is always indicated by green color, 0 clock, and then this color, maroon color, is indicated by clock 1, and then something like this color is present. Okay, I don't know the color, and this type of color is termed as 2, and there is a third color is your I will show you one circuit, then only you can understand what I am talking. So this is actually, see, you can see here, this green color indicates 0, clock 0. This color indicates clock 1. This color indicates clock 2. And this white color indicates clock 3. So there are 4 phases of clock. We will see in this slide later on. So there are 4 phases of clock. And why we need clock, I already told the people. Okay. So that is a important aspect of this research, where we need to provide, or we need to justify how we will provide the clock. So there are 4 phases of clock and 4 phase clock generator. 0 is applied here. You can see 0 is going like this, clock 0. If this is your very small 5 input majority voter, if I increase the size, where you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, sorry, 3 and 7 input majority voter, where there you can see 0 is coming like this. Okay, like this, your where, and 1 is coming like this, and this is your output cell. So you can see here, if I want to increase the size of the tile, hybrid tile, then I can increase it, and the number of clocks are also increasing. Here, this is green color, this is 0, this is 1. So how I will provide the clock underneath this QCA cells, that is important, and that is why we have shown these 2 types of orientations, or you can say clocking, how to generate the clock. So after analyzing all those clocking and tile, we have proposed this structure, 5 input majority voter structure, where you can see this is your normal cell, these are your rotating cells, and these are your inputs. Okay, and this is your output, and we are getting here a invert. This is actually a inverter. Already we have seen this is actually inverter. This is also one inverter. Whatever we will provide here, 0. If I provide 0 here, I am getting 1 here. If I provide 1 here, I am getting 0 here, and that is why I have written A bar, C bar, and rest is normal cells. B is directly we are providing whatever we are providing, it is induced to the neighboring cells. So this is a 5-input majority gate where we can realize these things. If I control any of the 2 input, okay, any of the 2 input, if I controlled, then I can realize 3 input AND gate, 3 input OR gate, and 3 input majority voter. Okay. Any questions till now?
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, madam.
Is there any rules for applying this clock? We have 4 clocks, right? Is
Yeah,
it
there
necessary
are,
to use all the clocks for the circuit, or it
yes,
depends on the? Tell me.
there are some rules, ma'am.
Okay.
That means when I'm coming to that clocking part, I will tell you your
Okay.
doubt. Okay.
Okay. And
Any
I
other
have,
questions?
yes,
Yeah.
I wanted to know more about this kink energy. How do we calculate the kink energy for any given circuit? Maybe not or an or a majority. Maybe if you
Okay.
take this circuit itself, how do we calculate the kink energy?
Okay, ma'am. For that, you need one. Actually, I have not shown here how to calculate the kink energy. So, if you are more interested how to calculate the kink energy, I can
Yeah.
provide some material.
Yeah,
So, there
please,
are
sir.
some formulas you need to
Yeah.
calculate by your own. So,
Okay.
I will mail you. Okay. Please
Okay.
give me your mail ID. I will provide the detailed
Sure.
material how to provide kink energy.
Sure, sir. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Any other one? Okay, so then I have compare with the recent at that time. This is not now recent actually. At that time I have compared with the most comparative structure of that time, and you can see here more or less they are same actually. And in this actually my main intention or main comparison is to this. These 3 are actually not our scope. The Navy et al., which shows that the distance, controlling the distance between the device cell and the input cells are very important, and they are getting some advantage due to that distance. They are actually changing the distance between the device cell and the input cell, and they are getting some more enhanced programmable features. And so we have tried the same, but with the with some extra measures where we have taken care of hybrid cell because of this fault tolerance, because we know the cells are not very that they are sensitive to various defects. So you can see here these 2 comparisons where we have achieved less area. Okay. Also my improvement is here also here. QCSS, it doesn't matter actually because only one cell is more, and clock zones are same. Clock zones means already I told you people there are 4 clock zones, 0, 1, 2, and 3. So we have also used only one clock, 0 clock. So they are also analyzed they are also realized the same with the clock zone 1 only. Now again we need to test our device, whatever we have proposed, whether they are more fault tolerant or not. That means already we have seen there are various defects, so we need to test it. So this is my device. Okay, there are all the cells are device cells, and now these are actually extra cells. To test the extra cell, we have provide this. Okay, PR, then TU. These are your extra cells, and I have also numbered my device cells 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that to test the missing cell defect. So you please remember that missing cell defect and extra cell defect, these 2 defects are very common. even though there are some other defects, rotation defect, misalignment defect, but researcher suggested that these two defects are very common: missing cell defect and extra cell defect. So also that is why we have analyzed the same thing here also. For these are your extra cell defect. To analyze the extra cell defect, we are placing one by one, okay, cell here, and then we are keeping the that means we are analyzing the output, whether it is performing the same output or not. And then we have also analyzed the missing cell defect with the help of this. That means we will delete this cell number 1, then we will see whether this in simulation, whether this device is behaving correctly or not. So like that, we have analyzed our device, where you can see this is additional cell defect table, and this is your missing cell defect, where this is the PRC gate where Kevin Nabi already published. Okay, in this paper they have published this, and this is my proposed 5-input majority voter, where you can see number of defective patterns. In if I omit any single cell, okay, if I omit this cell, if I delete this cell, okay, single, then if I delete at a time, we are deleting 2 cells. That is your double missing cell defect. If I omit 1, then this is single missing cell defect, and at a time if I delete 2 cell, then this is called double missing cell defect. So single and double, it represents the same. Okay, single means we are omitting 1 cell from the device, double means at the same time we are deleting 2 cells from the device. Now after doing this, you can see this PRC gate, it is producing 7 defective patterns and 21 defective patterns in the single and double respectively, whereas we are generating 8 and 28 in case of single and double. That means the ratio is more here. Okay, now occurrence of where function. Where means if any time we delete any cell, single or double, whether your device is whatever maybe your input, that is the same input is passing to the output, whether it is a case or not. We are testing this phenomenon also. So in this case, this proposed gate is behaving 2 times. Okay, if I delete 2 cells, okay, 2 times is there. That means 2 occurrences are there where we are getting the where function, but rest they don't have any where function. And at the same time, where function percentage we have calculated 7.14%. And then occurrence of inverter, whether your device after deleting or omitting some cells, whether it is behaving as an inverter or not. So none of the cases shown anything. Then similarly we have calculate the percentage, then majority voter. What if we are building or we are realizing 5 input majority voter, so it is our high priority to get the majority function, even if some cells are missing or some cells are deleting from the device. Our main task is, or my main priority is, to get the correct output, and which is majority, because we are realizing 5 input majority voter. Okay, so now you can see here, if I delete any single input, a single cell, okay, we are not getting the majority function. It means it is very sensitive to that defect, single missing cell defect, in case of this previous gate. As well as double gate, it is not possible to get the majority. But even if we have omitted any single or double cell, you can see the percentage. We are getting 62.5% majority voter function in case of single missing cell defect, and in the double in the case of missing double missing cell defect, you can see 35.71 we are getting. So it is highly fault tolerant. We can say highly fault tolerant in compared to this previous one, PRC gate. Okay, and then undefined function. Undefined function means we are getting nothing in the output. We are not getting anything. No result or no output signal is there. So in the case of PRC, 7 and 21 times we are getting the same undefined functions. But in case of our proposed 5 input majority voter, it is very less. Only 37.5 times and 57.5 times we are getting the undefined function, whereas in these two cases they are 100%. That means if I delete anything, they are not behaving as a majority voter. Okay, it means my proposed 5 input majority voter is more reliable, more robust in terms of our previous case. At the same now in the additional cell defect, you can see this cross means it is your normal cell, and the plus means it is your rotating cell, because we have two types of cell orientations here. You can see here, this is your rotating cell and this is your normal cell, again normal and then rotating. Okay, so we have analyzed the behavior of these two types of cells where positions are PQ. Already I told you people. Then we are analyzing that we are getting some undefined functions are also here, then majority are also there. Okay, so polarizations is also taken care of here. Polarizations I have not talked about here, but we have also measured the polarization. That means how strong your signal is. Even if this cell is extra cells is deposited there, they are influence the neighboring cells is influence the neighboring cells are not, or even if it is influenced, what is the signal strength? So that is your polarization in the output. What is the signal strength? So we have also measured the polarization. Then this is the last topic of this 5 input majority voter, where we have also analyzed the loosely coupled cells and tightly coupled cells. You can see here loosely coupled cells A, B, C, D, E, F. A, B, C, D, E, and F. They are actually loosely coupled. 1, 5, 8 is also there. 1, 5, and 8. Why they are loosely coupled? The definition is loosely coupled cells are those cells, they are associated with only one or two cells. In this case, one is associated with B. It is affecting actually this two cell. One is affecting B and 3 only. And this is your tightly coupled cell. Why it is tightly coupled? Because it is associated with A, associated with 6, associated with 3. That means more than 2 cells are associated, then this is a tightly coupled. Less than 2, it is a loosely coupled. Then we have that means we have displaced the cells. Okay, and then we have analyzed the rate, how far we can displace. That means if I displace this in upward direction, okay, little bit, then we have analyzed the output, whether the device is correctly behaving or not. Again, something more we have added. Then like that we have analyzed. Then D, in case of D, you can see 1.1 meter you can go upward direction or rightward direction or leftward direction. Okay, like that we have analyzed. And then you can see here they are claiming that the distance is, that means the displacement is getting, that means in the that PRC gate, I'm talking about that PRC gate. Okay, that Kevin Nabi paper, they have argued that they are getting some advantage with the help of displacement. But when we compare with our proposed method, you can see this is the PRC gate. Okay, and this is our gate. Our gate is providing more fault tolerance compared to PRC gate. In these tightly coupled cells are also not getting fault tolerance in the PRC gate. So this paper is published in Journal of Computational Electronics. Okay, and now I am moving to the last topic of our this lecture, where we will discuss clocking schemes. Why clocking is so important? Okay, so till now we have discussed QC devices, then defects, and some fault tolerance schemes which I have published. Now we will see what is clocking and why we need clocking actually. So here you can see this figure. So till now, any questions? I love to have some questions here. Any questions? If you have any questions, please ask me. Okay. Yes. You can see in this right side, in the right side, you can see one full adder implementation. Okay, full adder implementation. This is a full adder where you can see where you can see some cells. This in the background you can see white, some gray, then more dark, and then black. So these are actually your clock zones. Actually, this person, Hansi, he suggested that clock zones should be regular, uniform, and bounded shapes. Clock zones should be regular, uniform, and bounded shapes. Then only we can fabricate that circuit in the laboratory. So for that, various researchers provide various clocking schemes actually, and the most acknowledged clocking schemes are 2D wave clocking scheme and use clocking scheme. Now, what is clock actually? We will see first what is clock. Here you can see there are 4 colors are there. Okay, they are repeated as that madam already asked me. Is there any rules of clocking? Yes, madam. There are some rules. Okay. Now you can see here the inputs. Where are the inputs? Inputs. This is one input. Okay. C in. Then this is one input, and this is one input, and yes, these are the 3 inputs of this full adder, and this is one output, and this is one output. Sum and carry. This is C in, input 1, input 2, and this is third input. So you can see the clocks are arranged in this manner: 0, 1, 2, and then 3. Again, you can start with 0, 1, 2, and then 3. This is the rule you have to follow for your clocking. That means every time you can start with 1, no problem. You can start with 3, no problem. But after that, you need to apply 0. After that, you need to apply 1. After that, you need to apply 2. You can see here also in the input, input 1 is started with clock 3. It is started with clock 3, but after that we need to apply 0 again. Yes, this is 0. Then after that we need to apply 1. Yes, this is 1. After that we need to apply 2. Yes, this is 2. Then again 3. Yes, this is 3. You can see this is white color 3. This is again white color 3. So this is the rule you have to follow. I think that madam question is all solved now. It is
Yes.
resolved.
Yes.
So this rule is you have to maintain whenever you are drawing or you are realizing any circuit. Then you have to follow this rule. You can start with at anywhere. You can start with 0, 2 on 2 also, no problem. Then you need to follow this rule: 2, after the 3, then 0, 1, 2, 3, like that. So this is your clocking you have to apply, and this is a full adder circuit. Wait a second, my sir is calling. Okay, 1 minute. हेलो सर, मैं अभी लेक्चर दे रहा हूँ सर, उसमें वो उसमें जी सर, मैं कॉल कर रहा हूँ सर आपको. हाँ हाँ जी सर, जी सर, जी सर. डिफेक्ट्स भी मैंने कवर कर दिया सर यहाँ पे. जी सर, लास्ट खत्म होने वाला है 10 मिनट में सर. ठीक है सर, ओके सर, थैंक यू. So my PhD guide is calling me, so that's why I have interrupted you. Anyways, so these are the 2 available clocking schemes actually, and they are highly accepted. 2DD wave clocking, and the importance of regular clocking, I already told you people. If the circuit is not realized in the regular form, uniform form, okay, and then it is not possible to fabricate actually. So I can use random clocking, no problem. I will show some random circuits, but that circuit is very hard to realize or very hard to fabricate. And then this Hansi et al. Shows that this founder is also available here, CS Land, that regular structures are easily that the regular structures can be easily fabricated, and they are more or less defect free actually. So we need to realize regular clocking schemes. So for that, this 2DD wave clocking is very useful in the early days, and it is suggested by this person in the 2018. And then after that, the modification or upgradation is provided by this paper, which is your use clocking actually. So 2DD wave clocking actually don't have any feedback facility. Actually, this clocking is capable to generate only combinational circuits. It is not possible to realize sequential circuits because there is no feedback paths. Okay, and we know we need feedback paths to realize our sequential circuits. So after that, this use clocking, they have modified. Sorry, they have upgraded this clocking, and they have uh, presented this use case. What is use? Universal, scalable, and efficient clocking schemes. That is why in simple they have used use case clocking, and use clocking can be used for combinational and as well as your sequential circuits. But there is a problem in use case clocking also, the multi-layer. You can see here, this is a use case representation of full adder where they have used multi-layering. And I already told you people, multi-layering has complexity, 3 times more complexity than coplanar clocking. Okay, 3 times more complexity than coplanar clocking. So always we prefer in coplanar mode. Multi-layering we can realize, but it is very hard, 3 times more complex than your coplanar clocking. So why we are going in multi-layer direction? If I can realize in coplanar clocking. So my funda is to reduce that multi-layering, and then we can realize one efficient clocking. So I have proposed one clocking scheme which is in regular structure, and the name is RES, robust, efficient, and scalable clocking scheme, where we are getting one very big advantage. In this earlier two clocking scheme, I can't see any cell where the direction of these arrows are in the same. That means I can place a 3 input majority voter here. Yes or no? Yeah, for input A, input B, input C, and then this is my output, which is not available in the previous clocking schemes, which is 2DD wave and then use case. 2DD wave is you can remove or you can yes, that is not actually comparable because 2D wave clocking scheme don't have any feedback paths. We are directly comparing my proposed work with the use case clocking where we have feedback paths. That means we can realize combinational circuits as well as sequential circuits also. So, but in the use case clocking, we have some problems that multi-layering is also there, and the area of the circuit is also bigger than the use race clocking. Okay, so this is actually, I am not going to in the detail how I have generated, how I have calculated. You will get both. So in this case we are getting two advantages actually. After calculating this, we are getting 3-dimensional information flow which is not available in the any of the previous case. And then the circuits are consuming very less area. So with the help of this, we can also extend this clocking, and then we have realized some gates which already realized by use clocking, and then we have compared. Okay, I will show the comparison. So 1-bit full adder, you can see 1-bit full adder in the 2DD wave clocking, the clock zone is 18. They are getting clock zone is 18, number of cells, area, and cost. I have that means I can't that means I don't know. So how I have calculated the cost? Cost is calculated with this formula. Okay, You can go through. Then in the use clocking, clock zones is 15. The number of cells is this, area is this. Then you can see in my proposed scheme, clock zone is 12, number of cells is 206, and then area is also less. So gain, we are gaining 20% in the clock zone. In the number of cells, we are gaining 25.89, and in the area, I have that means we are improvement of this erase clocking scheme is 31.73. And then same thing happening in the marks also. We are gaining very that means a very high margin. So similarly, we have also implemented to test the race clocking, that whether we can realize our sequential circuits or not, and we have implemented. And then you can see here in the case of SR-LEDs and D flip-flop also, we are gaining very high amount of improvement. So after that, some 2 or 3 more clocking scheme also realized in the recent past. That means in 2020 or 2019, I think, some new clocking schemes are also published by some authors. Also, I have published one with Jayanta Pal, okay, that my friend, and we are also getting some advantages there, more advantages, okay. So you can also go through those papers. So the regular clocking is very important. Now simulator, whatever simulation we have done in the QCA clocking or QCA circuits, QCA designer, this is the simulator I have used. And for power consumption, I have not shown any power consumption here. For power consumption, I have used QCA Pro Simulator, and these are the 2 papers where they have discussed. They have published actually. So thank you very much. If you have any questions, you can ask me.
Sir,
Yes, ma'am.
I have one more question.
Yes, ma'am.
It was not covered here, but I want to know about the latency part. I mean, the latency, how do we calculate the latency?
Okay. Latency means, ma'am, already I have covered it. Latency and clock zone.
Okay.
Clock zone is associated with latency. Okay. One clock zone is, that means if you want to calculate the latency, then you need to multiply with the clock zone. So one clock zone is having 1, 2, 3, 4 phases or 4 clock zones. So latency is divided by 4, either divided by 4. Yes, if you need to multiply it actually. If the clock zone is this, then you please multiply with 8. Then this is your 32. Latency is 32. So in case of QCA, you just simply multiply with the clock zone number, 4 into then clock zone.
Okay. And cost means exactly what do we, I mean, I didn't understand
that is
what exactly
making
the cost
actually. That means you can see the cost formula here in this cost formula. M represents majority voter. I represents your inverters. C represents your wire crossing or crossover. T represents the delay or latency, whatever you have asked.
Okay.
Delay or latency. So that means this Liu suggested that these factors are very important to calculate the cost. That means if you are using less number of majority voter, less number of inverter, then it is automatically the less number of QCA cells are associated with that. So cost is directly associated with your QCA cells. If the QCA cells are less, then the cost will be low. So they have suggested that majority voter is the majority voter. That means affecting the cost. So that is why they have also given some weightage. And you can see inverter, they don't have any weightage. Then in the coplanar crossover also have some weightage and delay. These are the 3 important parameters they have considered, and they have one, that means they have suggested one cost formula. With the help of this cost formula, I have realized these things. And you can go through this paper, ma'am. There is a very good paper. A first step toward cost function for quantum dot cellular automata, and it is highly accepted. It is highly accepted.
Okay, sir. So now, if how do I know that is my circuit is a efficient design, whatever I have done or something, I've done some design. So how do we tell that it is efficient? Based on what? The number of cells or a area or the cost?
Yeah, these are the parameters you have to compare. Clock
Mm.
zone, number of
Mm.
cells, area, and cost.
Mm.
These are the basic, that means these four parameters generally used to measure the efficiency of your proposed circuit.
Okay, so the cost also
Okay.
should be less, the number of cells, area, whatever we
Yeah,
use,
yeah,
that should be less.
yeah.
Okay.
Also, efficiency cannot be measured with the yeah, these are the important parameters,
Mm.
but also some
Mm.
standard rules are also there. If you use the multi-layering and you are showing that, yeah, my circuit is very consume more less area, then that is not permissible actually. Multi-layering always consumes less area because you are layering your circuit and you are producing the output. At that time, the area may be less, but your circuit is not actually efficient because of the multi-layering. So there are some if and else.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Are
Yeah.
there any hardware chips available now at present? Is there, or it's only in this stage?
Already they have fabricated various primitive circuits. Okay, but there is a problem of room temperature. They are working on it, and recently there are actually four versions of QCA. One is semiconductor, then metal, and others two I forgot. But this
Molecular, I
yeah,
think.
yeah, semiconductor QCA is recently they have patented it. Okay, and semiconductor QCA they have realized in room temperature. So I don't know where others are doing this, but room temperature is the biggest hurdle of this technology. And recently they have published that patent, and there they have shown that this semiconductor QCA can work in the room temperature. I think some new research paper will coming on side by side. So we need to see the technicalities of this technology.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. And please give me your email ID so that I'll mail you. You
Sure,
can send
sure,
me the
sure.
details of the kink energy
Yeah,
calculations.
yeah. You can ask Jayantapal. He has
Ah,
my
okay.
that email ID. I think he is
Okay.
your colleague. So you can ask him.
Okay, sir. Yeah,
Thank you,
thank
ma'am.
you. Thank you.
Any other questions? I think no questions.
Yeah, I think Dr. Anirban Guha has raised a hand. So, sir, is there any question from your side?
Yeah, okay. Thank you. This was very nice presentation, Dr. Minal. I am Anirban Guho from the Department of Physics, Tripura
Yes, sir.
University.
Thank you,
So,
sir.
very informative talk, many new things. In one of your first slides, you have shown that these devices can operate at a clock frequency of around terahertz.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, this is some like 2 to 3 orders more order of magnitude than the current technology. I would like to know what is the fundamental reason that using these quantum dots we can achieve such a frequency, which we cannot achieve through conventional MOSFET gates.
Actually, sir, in conventional technology, everything is depends on power. And in this technology, we are providing. That means we are getting the switching speed of electron. So due to that electron switching in between these cells, we are getting high speed. So it is a very big topic to analyze in this short duration. So I can say only that, sir. And if you are interested, then I can provide some papers on it, how we are getting this speed in this technology. So I think,
I understand that the
yeah.
things, but I just wanted to know the fundamental things why we are getting more less time between the switching between actually the electrons are switching between two states in the cell. What
Yeah,
I
yeah,
understand,
yeah, yes,
and
sir.
you have fundamentally two cells,
Mm,
and and based on the electrostatic repulsion, they
mm,
changes their position
mhm,
to minimize their energy level.
mhm,
Now, while changing their positions,
mm,
they are supposed to be tunneling. from one state to another state. So
Mm-hmm.
do you mean to say that the tunneling time is lesser than for a field effect transistor it takes, for the relaxation time is much smaller than that? And if so, why is it so?
Okay. So, sir, actually, I don't know exact the point, whatever you asking, tunneling effect. So, exact answer I don't know, but whatever I discussed with you, that the tunneling effect actually is that different aspect, that is pure fabrication and hardware aspect. So I have whatever I have prepared and whatever I have done in my PhD. So that is a design or architecture part. So my guide or my Vipassan sir will also holding one talk with you people. Then you can ask the same question with him. So right now I don't have any answer. Sorry, sir, for that. And if you
Yeah, no problem. Thanks.
yeah.
No problem. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Any further questions from the participants? Okay, I hope there is no other questions. So let me thank Dr. taking care of Spain, and because I observed that most of the participants have to kindly provide your contact details in the PPT also. Mrinal sir, can you hear me?
I can't hear you actually. And yeah, your voice is breaking actually. So can you repeat?
Yeah, actually, I have observed that some of the participants have interest in this particular topic, or maybe in details they want to know. So, if you can kindly share your PPT along with your contact details in it, so I can share the slide with the participants.
I will share with you.
Okay.
Then you can share with them.
Yeah. So once again, thank you very much. And for the participants, we are having 2 or 3 more sessions or lectures in this QCA as well as their influence and relation between quantum computing in the upcoming sessions by Professor Paramath Datta and Dr. Divashan. So if you have any further queries, you can ask them also in the respective session. So
sure.
Thank you all the participants. Thank you, Mrinal sir.
Thank you
for
everyone.
Your valuable
Thank you.
time.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll end this session now, and we'll resume with the next session at 12 o'clock. Thank you all.